Did you ever wonder what would happen if the Speaker Titan got infected in Episode 8 of Skibidi Multiverse? We all know that there's already an infected Titan at this time, and the Skibidis tried to infect him too. What if this plan was successful? How would his infection affect the Alliance? And in general, how would it change the entire story? So, without any further ado, let's get right into it. Right from the beginning, the Skibidis have already had their hands on the camera Titan, which was clearly a problem, and they needed to do something about it. So, they had to ally with the other races, and that's where we got introduced to the drill race. Here, the Speaker is the only Titan left after the camera had shut down the clock Titan. The Skibidis saw it as a great opportunity to try to infect the Speaker Titan. We saw a parasite try to climb up the Speaker Titan and infect him, but he was able to spot it and blow it away with his sound waves. In this case, however, he wouldn't spot it, so the Skibidis' plan to infect him would finally be successful. The Speaker Titan, now controlled by the parasite, would go after the drill agents, using his blasters to inflict damage. But if you notice, this hole is quite too big for an agent to make, so I guess it means that the drill Titan would be below with the agents. They find out that hell has broken loose above, and the Speaker is causing a scene. So the base drill would have to come in and try to confront him. But the Speaker uses his sound waves to stun the drill Titan, which has an immense effect on him, causing him to retreat, drilling away from the battlefield. Meanwhile, the Speaker, now infected, retreats back to join the camera. Now, the Skibidis would have the upper hand, as they have two Titans at their disposal and the Alliance at a disadvantage. With this, they would have to call on a massive manhunt on the two infected Titans. The agents, along with the drill Titan, would go on a rescue mission to try to get them out. But since there are two, it won't be possible to hold them both at once. So, they'll have to split them up to make it easier, but how? Well, they'll just have to find out. Meanwhile, the clock Titan is still at the base being held, so that will be the priority for now. The rescue mission would solely focus on the clock Titan, so they move on. But there's a problem. They won't be able to carry his big ass out of there. So, they'll have to take over the base and make it their stronghold while they work on him. But, as you might have guessed, this would not be anywhere near easy, as they are low on manpower. So, all hands would be on deck for this one, and the agents would be able to stall the infected Titans for as long as possible while the agents try to revive the clock. But when the magnet mutant comes in this time to ruin the party from the outside, he'll be greeted by the drill Titan, just placed outside to guard the base. He'll be able to hold the magnet mutant off from the base, drilling him into tiny bits, as the magnets wouldn't have any significant effect on him. I don't know how long it would take them to revive him, but since they intended to use the spider there in the original, it shouldn't take much. So, in no time, they'll be able to revive the clock, at least to retreat out of the base while calling on the other agents to retreat back to the base. For now, they'll have to lay low while they work on the clock to get him back to speed. But doing this would cause a lot of collateral damage on the Alliance's side, as we all know the two infected Titans would still attack the base with the Skibidis. So, in no time, they'll have to just use the base form of the clock with minor upgrades. When the two infected Titans come to attack the base, they'll be met with the base clock, and this time, his time stop has been amplified to give him just enough boost to hold one Titan in place. He goes for the camera Titan, holding him in place, and reaches for the parasite, which the Speaker is busy with the agents. Successfully, he's able to uninfect the camera Titan, unlike in the original, where the energy was not just enough, giving a huge win to the Alliance. The infected Speaker, seeing that he's outnumbered, would have no other choice but to retreat. The Alliance, now having back their Titan, would be confident enough to invade more bases, but the clock would have to go back to be upgraded, as he has used up his spark. So, they'll go on to attack the base in episode 13 with the camera Titan, and just like in the original, there would be great fighting, which ultimately would damage the camera significantly. The Titans would be ambushed by the Skibidis, but the infected Speaker would come in alongside the scientist. While the infected Speaker holds the camera in the battle, the drill Titan would be stopped in time by the scientist, since he has the clock's time gun. The chief drill would have to eject out, leaving the shell to be destroyed. Meanwhile, in the battle between the camera and infected Speaker, the Speaker Titan would try hard to infect the camera, but luckily for him, he'll find a way to escape out of the battlefield back to the base. With all these injuries and damages, the camera would have to be upgraded, increasing his energy core and adding extra weapons to his arsenal. With these upgrades, they would move on ferociously, attacking the base, and it would almost be like a light show with the agents going all out. We'll then get to see the clown mutant, and he's about to eat an agent, but the camera titan would storm in from above and, using his machine guns, would be able to put this mutant down. But just as he's about to take a breath, he'll receive the message about the location of the scientist, so he'll move on to the base. Upon getting to the base, he'll be met by the trio of the scientist Pennywise and the infected speaker. Well, he surely is outnumbered and has no other choice but to fight. So, the battle would drag on, but due to the way we saw him fight in the original story and the enormity of his blasts, I think he'll be able to hold his own against the trio, but sustain minimal damages. He'll still have the side quest to try to uninfect the speaker and return him back to the Alliance's side. Unfortunately, this would not be possible, as the scientist would retreat with the speaker, leaving behind the kamikaze to finish off the camera titan. But he uses his shield to stay alive. However, he then receives a message that the clock base has been infiltrated by the SCP toilets and they need a titan ASAP. So he moves onto the base and meets with the agents, still trying their best to stall enough for him to arrive. When the camera arrives, it would be just like a safe haven for the agents, as he instantly clears the base of the SCPs and toilets, as they stand zero chances against his fiery blasts. With this, the agents would have to worry because they would have to go after the base with the nukes and hopefully stop it from detonating. Meanwhile, the Skibidis are plotting something with the speaker titan they have in their possession, and Alpha would be the mastermind behind it all, as they've been able to work something out. But the unsuspecting Alliance members don't know what is about to hit them. Her plan would be to use the speaker as a decoy to carry out her coup on the clock base against the boss. So, the speaker goes on to attack the drill base, causing more damage, totally leveling the base to the ground. But the clock would not be able to respond, as he's been upgraded alongside the drill, so only the camera would be left to hold up against the speaker. The camera would move on to the base, and this time he won't be smiling, as the main goal would be to uninfect him for real this time. But Alpha has infiltrated the base, and the boss refuses to retreat. So Alarm Clock had to do what he's told to buy time for the Titans being upgraded. The camera fights ferociously with the speaker, trying hard to uninfect him. He tries to run away, but the camera is able to pin him down, and using brute force, he's able to drag the parasite out of his body, ultimately freeing the speaker from infection. But this speaker has been injured very badly, and seeing the damage he has caused, he's filled with so much regret that he vows to bring down the Skibidis. So, the duo moves onto the clock base, which has been taken over by the Skibidis, and the scientist is not happy seeing that they had lost the Titan in their possession. So, he goes after the camera Titan and speaker, this time trying to reinfect them. But the TV comes in to help them. Alpha goes on to summon the counter Titan, and the Titans have a lot to worry about. The duo doesn't stand a chance against this threat, but they would have to fight anyway. Just as the counter Titan thinks he's winning, we'll get to see the drill Titan drilling out from the ground, sinking the counter in alongside the clock Titan. And yeah, you could tell that the counter is outnumbered and ultimately would not live to see another day. The Titans are able to surround the counter and together tear him to pieces with collective effort, and Alpha would follow, so she won't snitch against them. With this, they would gain knowledge about what is about to come, the G-Man apocalypse. Any Titan not upgraded would go for upgrades, as they all know what they are up against. So they would all move out to the base, and everything would pretty much continue like in the original story. I guess the reason it took so long to uninfect the speaker is because of his flexibility, as this Titan is able to evade all their attacks effortlessly, giving them a hard time. However, check out this video to see what would happen if the Titans existed individually in the Skibidi multiverse. Unique Clockman out.